If you are doing the keto diet, you have got to know that this could happen to you. And what does it mean when you wake up one day and suddenly you start dreaming about odd body piercings and tattoos? Plus, psychologists have narrowed down how you can detect when somebody is lying to you. Find out that and more on this episode of Imperfect by Design. Hi there, I am DC media personality KT Harris, joined today by the one and only Danielle.
Yes, Danielle Deborah, how are you doing?
Now, she is also a DC media personality. In case you're wondering where Melinda is, Melinda has been in the middle of a move, so the Coastie with the Mostie will be giving us an update again soon. And just a real quick recap. Imperfect by Design is a podcast that we have formulated because the reality is life is not perfect. Because of social media, we've got all the filters, everyone looks oh so perfect. But it's okay when life isn't perfect because we got to embrace it, we got to laugh at it because life is imperfect by design. So, Danielle, welcome to our very first episode, season 2. Now, Danielle is the mom of the Mom Minute.
Yes, I've done some Mom Minutes.
And you're so much more.
So much more.
I have figured it would be a great way for everybody to get to know you with a few little unusual facts. And you had posted on Facebook 40 facts that people don't know about you.
In celebration of my 40th birthday coming up, I thought it'd be nice to just, self-examine myself. What have I done over the years,
What? 40? You don't look like you're a day over 25.
25? No. Yeah, 40 on Thursday.
All right. So in those 40 things, one of them was that you auditioned in an NBC pilot.
I did.
For a role that was based on J-Lo at 22.
Yes, I was 22 years old, and I went to the Bronx because I heard about an open call. And it was an NBC pilot. That's all I know about it. They didn't really say much. And I just waited in line. And back then I smoked. So I was like the only 22-year-old standing in line with a bunch of 16-year-olds. I'm like, oh, I should probably put this out. And then I put it out, Go inside. I get huddled in with these girls. And I think they lined us up and had us do a bit, maybe sing a song or something. I actually got a call back. I was like, whoa, yes! And then I went back to Manhattan to read some lines for a casting director, and that was cool. And, didn't get a call back after that, but I just got the one.
Listen, to be auditioning for a J-Lo movie, that takes oomph.
No, a TV show. It was a TV show. Oh. And it was a pilot for
It wasn't the Fly Girl thing, was it?
No, I don't think so. I think they were going to make a sitcom. As far as I remember, they were going to make a sitcom about J-Lo's upbringing in the Bronx. So I may have been
I think I remember that.
You do?
Yes.
Because I don't even remember if I heard anything afterward about it.
I heard that they were going to be making it. And the fact that you went out and auditioned, I think, is great.
I used to do these things all the time. I used to just think it was fun. I love being on sets.
Obviously, look at you now. Now, the other fact about you, which I have been dying to ask you about.
Oh, boy.
You were born with 11 toes.
Yes, I was. I was born with 11 toes. It's called polydactyly. It's hereditary. I was once told it skips a generation, but I'm not sure that that's accurate because I'm, based on
what happened to the 11th toe?
Okay, so when I was maybe about 2, my parents brought me to the hospital, and I have to tell you something funny. So parents brought me to the hospital, and the doctor was going to take me into the surgery, and says to my dad, "So which foot has the 6th toe?" And my dad, being the Jersey guy he is, he goes, "Look, man. My kid goes in there with 4 toes on one foot and 6 on the other, you're going to be in deep, He was like, couldn't believe the doctor was asking which foot had the 6th toe.
I know, right? Yeah. I was like, really?
I'm pretty sure my dad was threatening to knock some kneecaps out or something.
I saw that and I wanted to make so many toe jokes. That is just totally awesome.
So regardless, I have 10 now. So just so you know.
All right, the other one that I have to ask you about because I think it's ridiculous and so hysterical. You apparently went to a fancy restaurant in D.C.
I did.
And you mispronounced something.
It was a word I'd never seen before. Okay, so in my defense, I was at a fancy French restaurant, and it was restaurant week in D.C., and I thought, when I saw the word on the menu that it was supposed to be pronounced endive.
But
it's endive salad. I thought I was doing it right because I was like, it must be pronounced this pretentious way because I'm at a French restaurant.
Excuse me, sir. Can you please pass the Grey Poupon and the endive?
I said endive. Can I have the endive salad? Like a total dork.
It's like the target. It's target. It's endive.
It's endive.
Endive. Well, you know, that does remind me. I remember when I was younger, going out to eat. Mm-hmm. And I think it was like a prom night, or it was some kind of like dance thing, and I'm all gussied up, and the guy takes me to this wonderful restaurant, and I ordered filet mignon. Uh-huh. And when the filet mignon came out, I was pissed it wasn't fish.
Oh my gosh!
Because I thought, well, I didn't say anything, but I was just kept staring at it, and I'm like,
oh no!
I thought I ordered fish. It said filet.
Oh, I was about to say, where'd you get the idea? But now I know. You have a McDonald's taste.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was like, it said filet, so I was thinking like a filet of fish.
Yeah, filet of fish. Obviously, must be fish.
A filet mignon.
Mignon must be a type of fish.
So I do have to ask you as well. Mm-hmm. We're talking about midlife crisis, but you're turning 40. It's not really it's not a midlife crisis. What's going on?
I mean, okay, so maybe guys get it around 50. Do women get it earlier, or do we just get it at the same time?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, okay. I don't know. So I've been doing a couple of crazy things. I got this piercing just last weekend or so, maybe 2 weekends ago.
Up on the top of your ear.
Yeah, the top of my ear. So not like a usual place people get pierced down here on the low, but I got a forward helix. That's what it's called. I had to research it before I did it, you know.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, is that one of your private parts?
No. Yeah, I don't even know how people do that.
I don't either. No. I got a girlfriend that went through her phase, and she had to have up everywhere? In here, up on her chest.
Other than privates, the one that creeps me out is the one in the chest, because I asked how that happens, and they actually have to put the tab inside and then screw it in. And I'm like, just
too complicated.
Yeah, too much.
So you got the piercing.
Yes.
And what other things are you going through?
I've been thinking about a tattoo. I can't exactly decide what I'd want, but definitely something extremely like delicate so that you could almost like not even see it. You know, just something for me.
Now, I'm kind of curious because you are part Filipino. I'm part Filipino. And my mom was very strict. And she was like, absolutely not. She goes, Katia, you get a tattoo, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. Seriously. Like, that's the way my mom is.
My mom's chill. She's cool with it. Yeah, and I mean, neither one of my parents has tattoos. Yeah, they're pretty straight and narrow. They don't smoke. They don't drink. My mom will have wine.
And she's probably going to go, why did you put me out there like that?
I mean, I've said it in front of her. She hasn't given me like a second look, you know. Cool.
Now, so to me, I actually do have a tattoo, and I have what's called a Thailand tattoo.
Ooh.
I went to Thailand, and while I was in Thailand, I went through a breakup. Well, not while. I mean, it was kind of one of those things of like, okay, I think the relationship's over. And then on the last day of the trip, I was like, screw it, I'm going to get a tattoo. And I got a tattoo of a beautiful lotus, and it's on the back, so you can't really see. And it's not really big. It's very discreet. But I learned that you never, ever want to get a tattoo when you're about to take a 48-hour plane ride.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, because you can imagine me, like, it was literally like it's a 2-day trip going to and from Thailand.
Yeah.
And having that pain of just being inked. And the other
sitting on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was absolutely nuts. What I don't understand, though, is when people get tattoos, I've had a lot of people that I know do this. Once they get one, it's like an addiction.
I know. That's another thing I'm scared of. If I get one, am I going to want another one? I don't know.
Do you like pain?
Not really.
Well, then you won't get another one.
I mean, I've had 2 kids, so I'm sure I can handle it.
But you know what's crazy is I can't believe I'm going to admit this. Yeah, 2 kids, you can handle it.
Yeah.
I discovered when I got back from Thailand, and I knew that something was awry when they were doing that. It's crooked. Yes. You can't really tell.
The lotus is this way or
No, it's not crooked that way. It's just like it's a little bit too much to the right.
Oh, so it's not in the center of where you wanted it.
Well, it kind of sort of looks like in the center, but if you're looking at it, both my brother and my son, who were on the trip with me, they were laughing hysterically. They were just the whole trip going,
oh, no.
It's a little off.
That's the best when people just know and they just laugh at you.
I know, but that's okay. It's on my back. I don't have to see it.
I know. And that's the other thing. I think I want to put it where I can see it. I don't want to put it in a place that I can't see it.
I think that's a
Right?
good thing. Because I do kind of regret the fact that usually when you get a tattoo, it's something that symbolizes something else.
Yeah.
So I always think
I'm
that's
thinking right here. That's right there. Inside of the
right
wrist.
over there.
I think so far. Yeah.
yeah. I think that'll be good, and then you can cover it with makeup if you
Yeah, if
really
I ever
don't
had
need to.
to.
So
Yeah.
watch on the on the next episode.
We're getting tattoos in the studio.
No, we are not getting tattoos in the
That's
studio.
not where you were going. Got it. Okay, that's not where she was going. Sorry.
I was just thinking you're going to show off your tattoos in the studio.
I thought we were getting tattoos in the studio. No, okay.
No. I'm done. I'm done with a lopsided lotus.
We can get matching ones, KT.
We just got to make sure.
Call Melinda in here.
All three of us.
All three of us.
Oh, that's going to be hysterical. All right. So a really interesting story about a flight attendant. His name is Andre Riley. He got fired because he is on the keto diet. Now I'm on the keto diet. I'm doing it now, and that's pretty much where to me it's kind of like modified Atkins. You eat a certain ratio of high protein, fats, and then you really restrict your carbs. But did you know that when you are on the keto diet, according to experts, your body can actually basically give you a negative on a breathalyzer. In other words, it's like you're drinking because your body produces an alcohol after.
So someone must have tested him and thought that he was under the influence while working.
That is exactly what happened.
Wow.
He got tested, and experts do say that this is a real thing and it can happen. However, when you look at the quality of the breathalyzer, the higher quality ones, they can tell you're not drinking, but the cheaper ones. So I read that story and immediately I was just thinking, you know what's going to happen? So many people are going to be like, driving while keto. Coming back from the club 2:00 in the morning.
Officer pulls you over. Sir, have you been ketoing?
That's a steak on the side.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
I got all the beef you can eat.
Mind if I search your vehicle for beef?
Yeah, pretty much. But I do love keto. I just hope I can get some decent results. What's killing me is donuts. Did you see that KFC has got donut and fried chicken sandwich out now?
Yes. So it's donut on top, fried chicken in the middle, donut on the bottom.
It's
a glazed donut.
I know.
Oh,
It looks like a Krispy Kreme.
it does. It does.
That's my weakness.
Have they have they mentioned if it is Krispy Kreme?
No, they haven't mentioned it. It just looks good. It just looks good.
She's like, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy drooling.
Now, if anybody would like to make $1 million, this is how you do it. You create a no-carb Krispy Kreme donut.
Is that even possible?
I know, it's not possible. That's why that's the $1 million idea. Somebody, please do it.
Gluten-free donut? Is that possible?
No, I just want carb-free.
Okay.
I want it so that when I eat that donut, I'm going to feel like everything's wonderful, and I'm not going to feel it later.
What if you just dip your finger in the icing? And just eat that?
No.
Okay.
It's the fluffy breading of the donut. It's biting into that like moist,
The
pillowy.
warm
Yes.
donut.
Oh my gosh. Hey, just real quick, speaking of eating, I had quite a disastrous, and the producer knows about this story. When it was Thanksgiving, I met my boyfriend's family for the first time, and I always get like really nervous about that. Well, we hosted a big dinner because it was my boyfriend's big 5-0.
Wow.
This is a big milestone. This is the big birthday. And so I'm thinking I'm going to get this thing right. I decided I was going to bake a cherry pie. Thanksgiving, I burnt it. Guess what I burnt again? The cherry pie.
Oh.
Yes. And if that's not bad enough, my boyfriend's brother, who's kind of a salt of the earth guy, he's kind of like one of those guys that like wants to tell it like it is, at the dinner table, in front of his mother and in front of all the guests, he's like, so, how are things going at the restaurant? And I'm going to come down and visit you. And of course, my mom does not like my boyfriend. And he's like, yeah, I hear she calls him caveman.
Oh, dear.
Like going in front of his mother. I'm like,
under the bus.
I know. And then the icing on the cake was the fact that, well, I decided to buy a new dress. And midway through, somebody had pointed out to me that I forgot to cut the tag off the dress.
Oh, boy.
That, my friends, is imperfect by design. All right, so just real quick, I got some details from a psychologist on how to spot someone when they're lying. And I'll just run through them really quickly because I think you're a mom and you've got a 2-year-old that...
Yep. You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell. Asking questions, that's the first thing you got to do. And then once you start asking the questions, you find the hot spot. You watch the body language. So when someone starts fidgeting or when they hide behind their phone and they're like, oh, yeah, no, they're lying. Observe their facial expressions because usually if their eyes get really big, and to me the number one indication that somebody is lying, and it's not on this list, which I find shocking, is when somebody answers your question with a question. That is the number one way. So it's like, honey, where'd you go last night? Why do you want to know? No, just answer the question. Yup. Seriously, when somebody asks you a question to your question, you can just call them out on it. Liar!
Just completely go to the other end right there.
I need one of those. You remember those staple buttons of brr, that was easy? Yep. I need one that just goes brr, liar. And on our next episode of Imperfect by Design, what weird thing do people do when they are in the middle of having relations? And I discovered that I was doing it too, and I was like, what? This is crazy. Plus, we got to find out from Melinda if online dating is working for her.
Ooh.
Is Match.com the answer? That and more on our next episode of Imperfect by Design. Don't forget to join us on all our socials. We are on YouTube, on Facebook, and Insta. Mwah!